ourselves for that discovery. But if we're a fractionated plurality internally, then when we turn to ourselves, we turn to a fractionated plurality. Well, that was Freud's observation. It's like, well, how can you make your own values when you're not the master in your own house? Like you're a war of competing motivations. Or maybe you're someone who's dominated will to force and compulsion. And so why do you think that you can rely on yourself as the source of values? And why do you think you're wise enough to consult with yourself to find out what those values are or what they should be, say, in the course of a single life? I mean, you know, it's difficult to organize your own personal relationship, like one relationship in the course of your life, let alone to try to imagine that out of whole cloth you could construct an ethos that would be psychologically and socially stabilizing and last over the long run. It's like, and of course, Marx, people like that, the people who reduce human motivation to a single axis, they had the intellectual hubris to imagine that they could do that. Postmodernists are a good example of that as well.
Okay, but if we lay on the table religion, communism, Nazism, they are all unifying ethos. They're unifying ideas, but they're also horribly dividing ideas. They both unify and divide. Religion has also divided people.
Yeah.
Because in the nuances of how the different peoples wrestle with God, they have come to different conclusions, and then they use those conclusions, or perhaps the people in power use those conclusions to then start wars, to start hatred, to divide.
Yeah, well, it's one of the key sub-themes in the Gospels is the sub-theme of the Pharisees. And so the fundamental enemies of Christ in the Gospels are the Pharisees and the scribes and the lawyers. So what does that mean? The Pharisees are religious hypocrites. The scribes are academics who worship their own intellect. And the lawyers are the legal minds who use the law as a weapon. And so they're the enemy of the Redeemer. That's a subplot in the gospel stories. And that actually all means something. The Pharisaic problem is that the best of all possible ideas can be used by the worst actors in the worst possible way. And maybe this is an existential conundrum, is that the most evil people use the best possible ideas to the worst possible ends. And then you have the conundrum of how do you separate out, let's say, the genuine religious people from those who use the religious enterprise only for their own machinations. We're seeing this happen online. Like one of the things that you're seeing happening online, I'm sure you've noticed this, especially on the right-wing psychopathic troll side of the distribution, is the weaponization of a certain form of Christian ideation. And that's often marked, at least online, by the presence of, what would you say, cliches like Christ is king, which has a certain religious meaning, but a completely different meaning in this sphere of emerging right-wing pathology. Right-wing. The political dimension isn't the right dimension of analysis, but it's definitely the case that the best possible ideas can be used for the worst possible purposes. And that also brings up another specter, which is like, well, is there any reliable and valid way of distinguishing truly beneficial unifying ideas from those that are pathological? And so that's another thing that I tried to detail out in these lectures, but also in this new book. It's like, how do you tell the good actors from the bad actors at the most fundamental level of analysis?
And good ideas from the bad ideas, and you lecture on truth that Nietzsche also struggled with. So how do you know that communism is a bad idea versus it's a good idea implemented by bad actors?
Right. That's a more subtle variant of the religious problem, and that's what the communists say all the time. The modern day communists are like, real communism has never been tried. And you could say, I suppose, with some justification, you could say that real Christianity has never been tried because we always fall short of the ideal mark. And so, I mean, my rejoinder to the communists is something like, every single time it's been implemented, wherever it's been implemented, regardless of the culture and the background of the people who've implemented it, it's had exactly the same catastrophic consequences. It's like, I don't know how many examples you need of that, but I believe we've generated sufficient examples so that that case is basically resolved. Now, the general rejoinder to that is, It's really something like, well, if I was in charge of the communist enterprise, the utopia would have come about, right? But that's also a form of dangerous pretense. Part of the way, see, that problem is actually resolved to some degree in the developing notion of sacrifice that emerges in the Western canon over thousands and thousands of years. So one of the suggestions, for example, and this is something exemplified in the Passion story, is that you can tell the valid holder of an idea because that holder will take the responsibility for the consequences of his idea onto himself. And that's why, for example, you see one way of conceptualizing Christ in the gospel story is as the ultimate sacrifice to God. So you might ask, well, what's the ultimate sacrifice? And there are variants of an answer to that. One form of ultimate sacrifice is the sacrifice of a child, the offering of a child, and the other is the offering of the self. And the story of Christ brings both of those together because he's the Son of God that's offered to God. And so it's an archetypal resolution of that tension between ultimate sacrifice. Ultimate because once you're a parent, most parents would rather sacrifice themselves than their children. Right? So you have something that becomes of even more value than yourself. But the sacrifice of self is also a very high order level of sacrifice. Christ is an archetype of the pattern of being that's predicated on the decision to offer everything up to the highest value, right? That pattern of self-sacrifice. And I think part of the reason that's valid is because the person who undertakes to do that pays the price themselves. It's not externalized. They're not trying to change anyone else, except maybe by example. It's your problem. And that, like Solzhenitsyn pointed that out too, when he was struggling with the idea of good versus evil. And you see this in more sophisticated literature. You know, in really unsophisticated literature or drama, there's a good guy and the bad guy. And the good guy's all good. And the bad guy's all bad. And in more sophisticated literature, the good and bad are abstracted. You can think of them as spirits. And then those spirits possess all the characters in the complex drama to a greater or lesser degree. And that battle is fought out both socially and internally. In the high order religious conceptualizations in the West, if they culminate, let's say, in the Christian story, the notion is that battle between good and evil is fundamentally played out as an internal drama.
Yeah, so for a religious ethos, the battle between good and evil is fought within each individual human heart.
Right. It's your moral duty to constrain evil within yourself. And well, there's more to it than that, because there's also the insistence that if you do that, that makes you the most effective possible, like, warrior, let's say, against evil itself in the social world. That you start with the battle that occurs within you, in the soul, let's say. The soul becomes the battleground between the forces of good and evil. The idea that there's an idea there too, which is if that battle is undertaken,
a career that's meaningful and good generic answers, but you were like, oh, so you have feminine goals. And good generic answers. And I want to have a career. Well, I want to have, a good family life, and I want to have a career that's meaningful and good generic answers. But you were like, oh, so you have feminine goals. I was like, I guess,
Thanks,
yeah.
yeah, well, that fits very well with the story. Yeah, well, that fits very well with the story I just told.
I'm a high-achieving woman.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that could be worse.
Yeah, no, I'm happy about it. I wasn't offended. I just was a little surprising. Well, I mean, time will tell. Yeah.
Well, if you do, please keep that private. Successfully.
Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster.
Eyes up. Say, come on. Affirm.
Copy. Repeat.
Moving.
Skybox UAV is inbound.
Requesting recon flyover!
Hostile Mosquito is online. Mosquito deployed.
Scanning. Identity confirmed.
Awesome cash. Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO. Hostiles deployed a Mosquito. Hostile Mosquito is online. Kill confirmed. We located the rest of them.
Armor here. Planting mine. We've got an armor box here.
Buy station, right here.
Our counter UAV is active. Awesome cash. Battery low on the Mosquito. You got a loadout drop inbound. Hostile mortar strike near your position.
Moving here.
Enemies dropping into the AO. Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Let's get you out of here. Thermite incoming! Throwing Semtex! Semtex out!
Squad mates back on station. Good work.
Somebody could have venir vers nous. En bas, les gars.
Some of your squad's outside the safe zone.
Threats in the area! Movement here. Disregard that.
Friendly loadout drops on the way. Hostiles deployed a Mosquito.
Hiss! They're on me! Blimey.
Loadout drop headed your way. Your squad mates redeploying. Well done. Recon flyover. Recon drones are on patrol. Check your tac map and stay out of range. Keep your eyes up for prize contracts. You'll earn more buck for your bang. Surveillance is coming back around. Steer clear. You have a buy station inbound. Movement. Deployable buy stations ready. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your attack map. Go get hunting.
Somebody down.
You got gas moving in. Enemy soldier incoming. Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down.
We're gonna make it.
Confirmed and we located the rest of them.
Believe.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. Hostile mosquito is online. Marking the rest of them. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your TAC map. Get hunting. Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced. Resurgence is about to end. Make it count. Mark the target. Enemy in the open target here. Threats in the air. Cancel that. Gas is closing in. Head to the safe zone. Enemies dropping into the AO. Fire sale's over. Adjusting price.
Ready for action.
I just saw.
Resurging. Go get your revenge. You got reinforcements inbound. Resurgence has closed. No more second chances. Being tracked by an enemy squad. Evade and survive. You're losing ground. Move it.
Requesting recon flyover.
Get to the safe zone.
Moving to my mark.
Friendly mortar strike on the way. Friendly mortar strike inbound. Friendly precision airstrike inbound.
High-value contracts are in play. More risk, more reward. Gas is inbound. Be advised, you still have squad mates outside the safe zone. Enemies deployed a buy station. Gas is closing in. Advise you head to the safe zone. You got a lot of ground to cover. We're in the top 5. Bring home the win. Only 10 were left. Failure ain't fatal. It's just an opportunity to do better.
Then it doesn't have to be played out in the social world as actual conflict, right? You can rectify the conflict internally without it having to be played out as fate, as Jung put it.
So what would you say to Nietzsche, who called Christianity the slave morality? And his critique of religion in that way was slave morality versus master morality. And then you put in Ubermensch into that.
See, I would say that the woke phenomenon is the manifestation of the slave morality that Nietzsche criticized, and that there are elements of Christianity that can be gerrymandered to support that mode of perception and conception. But I think he was wrong in his essential criticism of Christianity in that regard. Now, it's complicated with Nietzsche because Nietzsche never criticizes the gospel stories directly. What he basically criticizes is something like the pathologies of institutionalized religion. And I would say most particularly of the, what would you say, of the sort of casually too nice Protestant form. You know, that's a thumbnail sketch and perhaps somewhat unfair, but given the alignment, let's say, of the more mainstream Protestant movements with the woke mob, I don't think it's an absurd criticism. It's something like the degeneration of Christianity into the notion that good and harmless are the same thing, or good and empathic are the same thing, which is simply not true, and far too simplified. So, and I also think Nietzsche was extremely wrong in his presumption that human beings should take it to themselves to construct their own values. I think he made a colossal error in that presumption.
And that is the idea of the Ubermensch, that the great individual, the best of us, should create our own values.
Well, and I think the reason that he was wrong about that is that, so When God
At a drop point for your squad,
gives
soldier.
instructions to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, he basically tells them that they can do anything they want in the walled
All right,
garden.
we
So
got
that's
you
the
started.
kind of balance
Finish the
between
job.
order and nature that makes up the human environment. Human beings have the freedom
Secure the supply boxes. Locations are marked on your TAC map. There's an increased payout for this job. Be sure to collect. Supply box secured. 2 to go.
Cluster mine deployed!
2 supply boxes secured. 1 remaining.
Deploy the mosquito.
You gotta be kidding me.
All supply boxes secure. Contract complete. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your TAC
Where
map.
are they?
Go get hunting. Supply box down. 2 remain. Be advised. Marked up all safe zone locations on your TAC map. Active or not. Contract complete. All supply boxes found.
Hostile mosquito is online.
Cluster mine deployed!
Your squad mates redeploying. Well done. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Hostile advanced UAV overhead.
You're losing ground. Move it. Enemy soldier incoming. Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down.
Hostile deploy the mosquito. Friendly mortar strike on the way.
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. Mark down. Marking the rest of them. Enemies dropping into the AO. You got a loadout drop inbound.
Flanking here.
Recon flyover. Heads up, soldier. Surveillance sweep is marked on your TAC map. Kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your TAC map. Get hunting. You got reinforcements inbound. Confirmed. We located the rest of them. recon's back for another sweep.
Yo, watch the move and cancel that shit.
Surveillance drones heading your way.
Moving
Get
here.
moving. Recon drones caught your position. You're compromised.
Oh, like, this on my head.
Enemy buy station deployed. Gas is inbound.
Bro, you're so weird camping on top of
Hostile
it.
airstrike near your location.
Only 25 remain. All squad members are in the safe zone.
Enemy, visual understood.
Enemy soldier incoming. Your squad mates redeploying. Well done. Fire sales active. Buy station prices are adjusted. A couple of contracts out there have increased payouts. Get to them first to cash out. Enemy destroyed. Use your TAC map to hunt down the rest of them. Kill confirmed. We located the rest of them. Be advised, there's an enemy squad gunning for you. Resurgence window is ending. Watch your six. Gas is moving.
Hostile mosquito is online.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal.
Hostiles deploy the mosquito.
Down to you, soldier. Stay sharp. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Resurgence has been deactivated. This is the end game. You got reinforcements inbound. Experience boost inbound. High-value contracts are in play. More risk, more reward. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. You've got reinforcements inbound. Gas is closing in. Double XP secured. Make it count. We're in the top 10. Keep knocking them out. 25 remain. The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
Ammo depot here. Found some armor here.
Ammo here!
We have an ammo box here.
We've got gas moving in.
Moving here. Target.
Stay with me. Last chance. Finish the job. Only 4 left.
Caliber rounds here. I'm on your side. Watch the fire! Better than ever! Don't shoot me, I'm friendly!
Appreciate the dedication, but let's drop the overtime heroics. Time to RTB. Use this time for some target practice. Real thing's coming soon.
Straight.
stations. We are green to go. Stand by for deployment. Resurgence. Stay alive to keep your squad in the fight.
Looks like a solid LZ to me.
Is on the way.
Come on, bro. Come on, come here.
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. We are returning you to the front. Earn this. Stand by for redeployment. Get ready. You're redeploying. Your squad mate's redeploying. Well done. You got reinforcements inbound. Got enemy spy drones tracking us. Let's blind them. Your squad mate's redeploying. Well done. Enemy soldier incoming. Got an extra valuable opportunity here. Don't miss your shot. You're down one squad mate. We'll get you redeployed faster. Kill confirmed and we located the rest of them. Gas is moving.
Boy, you niggas threw a grenade at me.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Oh my.
Enemy destroyed. Use your TAC map to hunt down the rest of them.
I got you. What the fuck, bro?
Hostile mosquito is online.
Squad mates back on station.
I got everything I need. Look at all that shit. Nothing like.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Y'all all the way up top.
Drone got away with our intel. That's Cookie
Y'all
and
niggas all the
Crumble.
way up top.
Back on
What's up?
station.
What's happening?
Go get after
Where
it.
y'all at? Where the drag on y'all niggas? Dolo.
Hostile advanced UAV deployed.
Where you up top? I said I'm about to drag on y'all niggas. Where you at up top?
Recon fly.
Let me know
over.
something.
Aerial surveillance
You
is
niggas
up and
black
at
like
'em.
shit.
Use your TAC map to steer clear. Aerial recon coming past right
Oh,
over you.
go. Trying to sneak me.
Relocate. Toronto.
Out of there. Out of there. Out of there. Out of there.
Marking the rest of them.
Come on. Where you at, bro?
Surveillance has scanned you. Your location's exposed. 25 left. Stay sharp out there.
You hiding in the corner, bro. The fuck?
Destroy the target. You're in the path of incoming patrols. Get out of there, soldier. You are in scanning range. Enemy has your location. It's all on you. Stay alive so your squad can redeploy. You got reinforcements inbound. Your squad mates redeploying. Well done. UAV is bingo fuel.
Yeah, niggas, look, I'm coming back to you, y'all, niggas.
They hit us hard that time. Let's regroup and get back up there, yep. Check your weapons, check your gear. We're holding for deployment. Enemies dropping into the AO. All stations, green light. We are deploying to the war zone. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. Mark the drop point for your squad and lead them in.
What you said? My bad, it's good.
Enemy soldier incoming. Wait, Griffin Green. Got a supply box your way. You're getting another chance. Make it count.
Taking effective fire!
Squad is down. Stay alive to bring them back. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Stun grenade out!
Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Go get hunting.
Setting mine!
One.
You're the last one standing, soldier. Survive until your squad can redeploy.
Hostiles deploy the Mosquito.
You got reinforcements inbound. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Hostile Mosquito is online.
Pissed! They're on me!
Gas is inbound.
The second floor.
All right, your squad's in the safe
They're
zone.
going up. Second floor now.
Enemy here.
24 enemies active. Kill them all. Time for vengeance. You're redeploying.
Don't even push that shit. He has a shotgun.
Planting Claymore!
Down to you, soldier. Just stay sharp. Your squad mates redeploying. Well
Ooh.
done.
I think they jumped.
Bounty contest. Got intel on a new target.
Check fire! You absolute nuts!
Just reload. He's one. He ran.
Enemies deploy the counter UAV. Hostiles deploy the Mosquito.
soldier incoming.
He's just one.
All on you. Stay alive so your squad can redeploy. Valiant effort. Keep your head up. Return to base for debrief. We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
Now this is a squad.